There we go. Now we're live.
Hello, people. Well,
Hello?
welcome to the art team office hours. We're a little bit late. We kind of got distracted working on a little doohickey, which we will show in a bit. Well, I guess we have two doohickeys, but one of them we kind of showed last.
Yeah, I kind of forgot time existed, so.
Yeah, I swear I looked down at the clock. It said like 2, and I was like, man, I'm tired. And then we looked down. It's like it's 5, and I'm like, oh no.
Here we
Oh
are.
man. For me, it is 5:18 p.m.
You say something
Uh,
again, real quick?
Hello, I am talking for testing just to make sure people can hear
Okay,
me.
your voice levels are good. They were a little bit
Okay.
too high, but no. They're
Yeah,
just at the yellow.
I I figured out what was wrong with my microphone making me quiet. Windows had set my microphone volume to 50%.
Microsoft at it again.
It's now at 100%. You should have heard Link whenever I found out that that was the issue and turned it up because they had me at 200%.
Yeah. I had you on shout on the camera, and then I was like, wait a minute, that was like yellow to orange kind of area on the levels, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna just set it back.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm right next to you anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
the camera viewpoint is having the audio, so yeah. Uh, yeah. Hello. Welcome to the Art Team Office Hours again. I'm Aegis Wolf, and this is Rushen, both of the Resonite Art Team. So, yeah, we're here every Wednesday to answer questions that people ask about Resonite, creation of artwork and stuff within it or using it. And, yeah, if you want to ask a question, simply just type it in chat, end it with a question mark, and it'll pop up on that chat to our left on the screen.
mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
see
and
there's
thank
some
you.
folks in the
I made
chat.
this place.
Tom, Grand UK, and Phoenix Bird Creature. Welcome to the stream. And yes,
If people
uh,
if people have not seen this, this is
mm,
Dunes. This is what it looks like currently. It's a published world, so you can use it to make a home world and edit. It's pretty lightweight, like extremely lightweight. It has almost no systems. It's like a kind of blank slate type home world, so that people can kind of take it and edit it and add whatever else they want to it. All I did was make some pretty visuals.
I really like what you did with the water recently,
Oh yeah, I love
or
the way the water looks
relatively
now.
recently. It looks so nice and realistic. Man, this world feels like the absolute opposite of what it feels like here in real life. It
Oh
is
yeah, it's
like
cold over
in the
there.
tens or even the single digits in some areas here. Fahrenheit.
Honestly, you just get a heater set next to you and you sit in this world and you'll forget that it's like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah. I see some new folks hopping in the chat. Welcome Alex and Mega9 and Quiz Concept. We'll get to your questions in a moment. Uh,
Yep.
in general, when we do these streams, we also post a forum post after the stream in a Discord that has questions that people can ask when, say, they're not able to attend the stream or they have a question they want to just write down and ask ahead of time. So we do have one for now that we'll go over first, and we'll then go over what's in chat. But yeah, we're just over in Dunes here, just working on Protoflux. We'll showcase what we're working on after we answer a few questions. So here's the first one. This one was asked by NV on the Discord. Let me get that adjusted. Hi, I was wondering how you guys get your textures. If you make them yourself, which program are you using for this, and what program would you recommend to get started with making your own textures? Multiple programs is pretty much the answer there.
Yeah,
Depends
it
on.
kind of depends on like the look we want and like what we're making. Um, I made a lot of the textures, and if it's something that is natural, then I will use a bunch of like noise maps and kind of compile them together inside of Substance Painter, and then edit them with either custom brushstrokes or whatever else I need, and kind of make a custom material in Substance Painter, and then bake it out as a seamless texture for use in here, with a bunch of settings that are specifically set up in Substance Painter to output Resonite materials, which you can actually find those settings on our wiki in case you want to do the same thing. Um, you can also do textures in Blender by baking them, um, or even using noise maps inside here.
Uh, with the kind of adding on to what Rue said, there's plenty of ways to make textures using Blender, Substance Painter. I've made textures in Filter Forge, which is like a node-based kind of like texture editor. There's also a program called JS Placement. That is a program where you can make like technical kind of like cyber grid looking designs in it and make it seamless. There's also GIMP and
Yep.
Krita. There's Paint.net.
Uh,
There's
JS placement, I think, is gone nowadays.
I still have a local copy. And there's like
Yeah, I'm just
portable,
saying, like
so
the public version was
yeah.
taken down for revision, and I don't think they ever brought it back yet.
Well, if anybody wants JS Placement, I got it.
Probably
Yeah,
put that on like the Internet Archive.
I think it already is.
Okay, well then that can probably be a place where people can get it then, at least an older version.
Yeah,
That's basically like a procedural texture generator for a few things.
yeah.
That makes like seamless textures, like dot matrices or
Sci-fi
circuit boards.
greebling, yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
some of those things we'll do by hand. Some of them we'll do procedurally. In some of the cases where we've done it by hand is like some of the paneling in a few places.
Yeah. There is a related question that I think we should answer first. Um, there is a question by Quick's Concept Z. Is there any way to use or make procedural materials within Resonite? I'm a little new, but still wanted to know. There are a lot of
Shoot the
procedural
truth a little bit.
materials you can create within Resonite, as well as externally as well. And then you just bake the result and import into here. There's a few that you can make within here. Eventually, when we get into a custom renderer or like a new rendering engine that isn't Unity, there'll be a lot more potential and options to choose from or create. So if I go into creating a new material here, I'm going to make a copy of this cube.
Well, that's what I'm making this cube for. Just use this material. I was actually going to do like procedural Verneuil. Uh, yeah, you're doing the same thing.
Oh, did you get? Yeah, okay, yeah. There is a procedural Verneuil material that you can use in here, and you can adjust the different parameters. It's pretty cool for making like ice or like organic shapes or crystals or
You can even
actually
animate it.
yes, animate like the different cells moving around. You can also make it look like car paint if you make those lines pretty much thin or like non-existent, and you just add a texture on it to change the different shininess values of the different flakes. Pretty much make it mimic
Here's my
carbide.
go gadget pixel reducer, noise simplex noise procedural texture that you can just kind of make inside of
Yes.
Resonite. Like there's a component for it right here, and it has a bunch of values and things you can change to do stuff. This is pretty useful if you want to add some grunge to say like a normal map, um, and make it look kind of like rough or do other kind of things to it. There's a bunch of other procedural textures that you can find under components, assets, procedural textures. There's also procedural meshes. And you can use all kinds of those things. Now, if you're wanting to do something, say, more complex, like Blender's material editor, like with a custom actual material, right? Those are more complex than we can do right now. That's something that we want to get to in the future, but we're just, we're not there yet. But this, what we're showing here, is what you can do in platform at the moment. And Aegis is pulling on a couple like procedural textures and stuff that are done here. Like the waveform one is actually pretty cool. You got QR code ones. You can just turn whatever you want to a QR code. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
The waveform ones you can update in real time. So if you have like music, you can throw them onto that. But yeah.
Yeah. This
For,
one's
like,
a simplex
materials.
noise. This one's like a grid texture. You got like the noise. You can either make it a colorful one or monochromatic. Yeah, the waveform one and the QR code, which goes to our Resonite website if you're curious on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, that QR code maker was made to work as part of the 2FA menu system within Resonite for setting up your account. And since it's a procedural texture in general, anybody can use it for anything. And probably even bake it and export it if you need to make a procedural QR code for any particular reason, you can. Now, to answer these other questions here real quick, TomTom asks, probably in referring to us forgetting about time, what is time? Time is everything. Time is wibbly wobbly, if that's what the doctor says in Doctor Who.
It's the effects of gravity on space time, space
Yes.
fabric. Yay!
Relativity. And of course, the Daily Knappet. For those unaware, it's kind of like, uh, I guess, originally started as a joke, but it's like one of those things where it's a pet peeve that makes you explode. Like the meme of Knappet, where it's a guy just saying the name, and then and then they'd explode. I guess a pet peeve lately. I'm trying to think. Maybe, I
Mine
don't know.
will forever be chickens crowing in the morning when I'm trying to sleep
Oh
because I have
no.
roosters that like to crow at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh,
Oh no.
oh man.
Oh,
It's okay.
it probably would be for me. Probably the FBX format.
Oh, actually, that's a good thing to bring up.
Yeah.
We have updated some information on the FBX format on our wiki. Um, Nothing's really changed mechanically about it, but we just made the
More
information around it.
documentation.
Yeah, that, and then we made it more clear and more accurate. In case you ever needing to use the FBX format, or its various different forms.
Yeah, essentially there's two main versions of FBX formats, the ASCII format and a binary format. And of course, there's different variants of each of those too by year, but that's a whole nother story. But mainly, the two main things you gotta know is we support binary FBX formats, but not ASCII formats, mainly due to licensing and uh, actually mainly that. We use a library called ASIMP, Asset Importer, which is an open source asset importer and exporter tool library that a lot of programs use. Things like Godot and I think even Blender also utilizes it as well too. And Autodesk does include a tool to convert those ASCII uh, FBX formats to binary formats, so you don't have to worry about not being able to use your FBX models in, or not being able to use them in Blender or anything else that don't support them. It's
You
mainly
can
there.
also set it inside of Autodesk to export as the correct version of FBX in case you might have it set to ASCII. Default should be binary, but always double check that in case you're having issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else in particular related to that, but other than that, it's more recommended to use the GLTF or GLB formats to make for models since it's more open. Because
Mm-hmm.
people had to reverse engineer the binary format in order to even use it. That's how people are able to use it today, is because people reverse engineered it without any, like, help from Autodesk or anything. We do have another question that came up too.
Yep, can answer this one.
This one is from Saden.
They ask, is the Resonite camera able to focus slash unfocus, i.e., blur things that are further away, further or closer than the object being focused on? The aperture is involved there too. Focus, aperture, I think, are those terms maybe. Well, what you're really speaking of is DOF, or
Depth of field.
depth of field. And the camera itself, the camera component, doesn't support that. People have made versions of a camera in here using clever like layering of materials, because we have blur materials and depth materials to make the camera have the effect of DOF, but it is not technically the camera's depth of field. It's kind of a way to make it look like it has that. The camera component itself, like the actual mechanical component that's in there, the big one, that still needs some work, and it still needs other features and things fixed. So until we can get around to that kind of thing, it probably won't have depth of field for quite a while. However, like I mentioned, those workarounds can still give you the effect you want. I recommend looking at some of the community-made cameras that have that set up on it already. Alternatively, what I've seen another user use is they have a camera that takes two pictures. One in normal, like just regular camera mode, with all the fancy visuals and everything. And then at the same time, from the same position, it takes another picture that is just the depth buffer, using one of the depth materials. Now, these depth materials, you do have to kind of set them up or make something to set them up automatically when you're pointing at things to get the distance. But if you take those two different pictures, you can then take the regular picture and the black and white one into photo editing software and use the black and white image to kind of make the image blurry in different focus levels. And instead
Using
of
it
just
like a
having it
mask?
all, yeah, and instead of baking it like all at once when you take the picture, that will give you more control over where the blur is and how far it's being pushed into the image. And you can all do that in post rather than all at once.
One thing I also like to point out too, which is good that I actually open up a streamer camera instead of regular one, it shows that these values right here are driven. And what these are the preview width and height and render width. And that's actually what we see on the camera right now. Some folks have been asking if we could add a uh, like a static small render for like the preview of the camera. It's kind of difficult to maintain two different versions of the camera and uh, also have like a different mechanism to tell if it's being used as a streamer camera or as a regular one. So that kind of feature is definitely something we want to add, but more or less it's just when this megalith of a component is reworked. So
I
yeah,
think what is more likely to happen, honestly, is at some point, I'll find the time to add a function to the regular camera to have it also take depth photos at the same time as real photos. That way, people can just like take those two into the Photoshop software.
it would basically just take two photos simultaneously in the same
Mm-hmm.
place, and you can have multiple cameras.
Mm-hmm. But once we get some updates to that camera component, you can bet we're gonna add some fun stuff to it. Till then, though, that's what we got.
I'm thinking likely it'll be after the newer renderer because it deals with rendering the scene in general.
Yeah.
As when we're like working on rendering stuff, it's better to not add to the plate of things for uh, to transfer over to a new rendering engine, which means less work overall to make the change possible. And speaking of that, if those aren't familiar with the plans of Resonite of moving from Unity to another renderer, it's more or less in a way, open effort for people to help out with. As in, we're trying to find candidates out there to have both feature parity and flexibility for the future for Resonite's capabilities. There's definitely ones out there that are pretty close to what we want to, but the problem is what I mentioned first is feature parity.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these projects are definitely open source, and anybody can contribute to them, which means if they contribute to those engines, they contribute not only to the engine and people use it, but also to Resonite downstream. For example, if people contributed to the asset importer library, people have done that before because it's an open source library, and it benefited both anyone that used that library, including Godot, and also improved how like Resonite handles mesh import as well.
We should show off this little doohickey.
This is a Christmas ornament that Rue has been working on lately. You can put any image you want on it. We showcased this last week, and this
Eek.
will be really nice to use and utilize. Oh my
Here's some images for you.
gosh. I'm gonna use this one. We haven't used this one before. There we go. Look at him.
In VR and in desktop, all you have to do is grab the center, and there's a little asset frame in there, basically. You can just kind of throw whatever you want onto the orb, and it'll just put it on the picture. Um, and then if you want to grab it and move it around, you grab it at the top where the little hook is, and yeah, kind of just can use it to decorate some fun pictures on there. It should just work with even the screenshots you take in here. So if you want to just make your own custom orb, go up, take a picture of someone, slap it in there. It should just work. And that's pretty much done. And then we
Yeah.
can showcase this in case you want to send it to someone in a fancy way. I think the particles are set up. We'll see.
I still
They
gotta.
might turn into a frame rate destroyer, but we're still working on this.
Okay, I see where they
we,
are.
we were building it like um, just before we realized that we were a little bit late for the stream. Um, Sage is going to test it out for like the first time here. You see the live testing. We
Now it
still need some sounds for like the
Resonate.
spawning.
Yeah, I'll make
But
one
yeah.
for that too. Oh, the particles are still running. That's why.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why are they still running?
I don't know because
Are
they
they
don't
like
exist.
the burst is on like a burst, but like the rate is 0? This is interesting. Is it like constantly pulsing it?
Yeah. I figured it would stop when it like deleted itself, but um
Yeah, it's probably best to.
it's okay. We're only eating a little bit of the bit rate. I bet this looks great on Twitch right now. They probably see like 4 pixels. Oh, so
I'll bring it
Contam
out.
has a
Oh, you got it.
question here. It says, "Oh, it reminds me. Are there any resources like Wiki or something on how to record/stream Resonite? I'm having issues capturing audio in a separate source." Yes. So I think we actually might need to update the audio portion of that. Um, I believe there's a new audio stream in there that you actually have to like set manually.
I do not have
Oh,
enough mana.
I forgot I had my nose booper on, but hold on. Sit. There we go. Ever since the splitting, which was basically separating the running process of Fruit's engine, which is the engine on that Resonite is running underlying, and rendering, it also changed where the audio is being played from. Now that definitely needs to be updated in regards of documentation. I wonder, I don't know off the top of my head if it's been updated already, but it is something to see if it's there. If it's not there, then definitely, uh, definitely request some documentation there and ask around in the community. We'll definitely check it out on our own time too. I pretty much just streamed the application audio of the actual program of Resonite, and sometimes I just go through and just play the audio of the audio device itself. I think probably just having it just pulse might be better, because when it gets deleted, it deletes the particles itself.
It's because the emitter is like part of the present. I would have to like decouple it from the present. I think there was a way to do that with particles in general, just to like set them so that when the emitter dies, it doesn't actually kill the particle itself.
It would probably be better to just time the deletion when the particles pretty much die off. So you pulse, if you want to pulse the particles a couple of times, I would probably just pulse it like 3 or 4 times, and then just wait until the particles die out, and then you just delete it. At most, it's like 3 seconds in regards to the lifetime of the particles. If I remember correctly. Position, size, constant. Yeah, max value is 3.
I'll just do that. I think that should hopefully do it. Let's try this. that in there.
I realized my mouth tracker isn't working,
Oh, uh-oh.
but my eye tracking is. Interesting. It says it's fine. Oh well. I was cleaning off the.
I think I broke it.
I believe so. Actually, this reminds me of like. What was it?
I was saying, it reminds me of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like some of the scenes from that movie. Good
Mario
movie if y'all
Party
haven't seen it, by the way. It's pretty good.
or Mario Kart with all the items changing. It's the quantum present. Once you set it up, I'll start making a sound for the opening or the wrapping of it in FL Studio like I did with the opening of it. Let's
Okay.
see.
I
That
kind of like
works?
that it shoots particles out whenever you actually like wrap it as well. I think that's
Yeah.
fine. It's a happy accident, but you know what? It looks good.
What happened to the particles though? It like. Hold on. Let's add this in there and do it again.
uh,
What? Oh. Because you were saying the particles appeared when you wrap it.
oh, do you not see them?
No.
Oh, I guess they're wrap that. You can
Hold
wrap
on.
a present.
Wait a minute. If I do the. Do you see them?
No. Okay, so they're local.
They're local.
I mean, that's fine. It's the opening of the present that actually needs to like have the little particles.
Also, when the present gets unparented, set the slot to non-persistent,
Oh yeah, I can do that too.
just as a precaution.
Well, I mean, people are probably going to want to save the present.
No, I meant like when you open it. When you open it, you can have it so that like it, because for time, it decouples itself and it stays like present, pun intended. But for a little bit, and then it deletes itself. Between the time it unparents itself from the object that's underneath it
It's not an
to the
async task.
just as a precaution, you know.
Well, I mean, there's you can look at the protoflux. I mean, we don't really need to do anything in that regard. Like,
Oh
because if
yeah.
we set it to non-persistent, people are going to want to save the present. So we can't set it itself to non-persistent, and then people are going to want to save the thing in the box. So that needs
Well,
to be persistent as well, and
what
keep the
I'm
thing inside.
what I meant is not setting it persistent right away, but like when you click for it to open, it turns it to non-persistent. Not the stuff inside it, the present itself.
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
That's what I meant.
Let
It's
me do
like
it on the sequence here.
because like there's a portion of time where it's
Yeah, because that
persistent
makes sense.
and someone's going to save a world with that and it could save that in it. That's usually like it's good to have it on like things like decals or particle systems or projectiles. Anything that's temporary. I'm not talking about the stuff inside the present, I'm talking about the present itself.
Yeah.
So find a spot where you think it would be best to set it to non-persistent, and then, yeah.
There you go. Done.
Sweet. It is good practice. I'm gonna.
Okay, yep, that should be good to go. Whenever we're done with this, we'll make sure like um, put it in like a little folder for y'all to use during the upcoming Christmas event. This is what this stuff is for. We're gonna have a bunch of fun little doodads people to play around with, and I believe Nex is even working on like a holiday themed version of the Resonite world for people to hang out. So there's gonna be some fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that and the announcements coming up for it. You're getting a little sneak peek of what we're working on for it here.
Mm-hmm. I gotta add turbulence next to the particles.
Yeah, simple little present thing. That way you can send some funny little things to your friends and whatnot. You can literally stick anything on that, by the way, like any size object. So if we take like a really big cube and put it on there, let's see if I can get on the corner maybe. Ooh. I might need to make the platform bigger. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me just hit that button.
Oh boy. A box. Oh man. I can imagine someone just doing that to like
You
an
can put
extreme.
chat in there.
Yeah, I put chat in a box.
Actually, I don't know how that's gonna
It'll
function.
work. Oh, you gotta make it so that don't accidentally press it again.
Oh yeah, local impulse timeout.
Well, not
No, I'll do
just
that.
that, you can just disable the button as soon as it turns on. That'll be the
Oh yeah.
simplest way.
And if y'all have questions about like how we're setting any of this up, or like what we're doing to get certain effects, just like let us know. Or if you have any other questions, just put them in chat. Make sure you got a question at the end there, and we'll get to them. I think we actually do have a question here, or a couple.
I think these are in relation to the OBS things. They're trying to see what kind of settings they can use. Yeah. Definitely something to look into. Can you do Matryoshka gifts? Shenanigans? I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to look that up. Ah, okay. Okay. That's why it sounded somewhat familiar. You probably could. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Once you're done, you done?
I think so. Yeah. Let me just do that.
Alright, I'm gonna do something here. Trust the process.
I wonder what would happen if I put you in the prison.
I'm
Oh
concerned.
no. I don't know what's. Hold on, let me save this real quick in case we crash. Yeah,
Okay,
give me the pedestal.
save the...
Oh, it's presentception now. It's gonna be
Oh,
really
it's
funny when
really...
someone gets one of these and it's like 30 of them layers.
There we go. It's possible.
Do we have like a chair or something? Let me go get like one of the
Okay,
resonate
first thing that
bags.
popped into my mind is this chair. Hold on. I got you.
Oh yeah, there you go. Sit in that.
Oh, let me
Actually, I should be the one to sit in it because you're the stream host.
let me
Oh no, you
make
can't.
sure it doesn't turn into a character controller real quick.
I forgot that it moves. It makes
Oh
it
yeah, I can just... Hi.
Oh man.
Okay, let's just turn off these components. That's the model itself. Okay, hop into it. Oh,
Oh.
alright, I'm gonna
Let's
just...
get a beanbag chair, not a vehicle.
I'm just gonna actually remove the components instead of disable them. Give me a moment.
Smaller. There we go.
And then let's just remove the character controller on it. And then, yeah, it's a normal chair.
Luckily, they don't all open at once. Okay, let me sit on it. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Is it scalable? It is non-scalable. I'll make it scalable.
I feel like Ant-Man getting put in the quantum chamber.
Is this even gonna work? Hold on.
I mean, you could just parent me to the slot that the table has.
Oh yeah,
Manually
you're
if you need
right.
to.
So I can just do this. Do
If you have
this.
a present that doesn't want to sit on the table, uh, you
Yep.
can just parent it directly to the tabletop, and it will just work.
Where's the camera? There we go. Let's just do this here.
You should
Well,
see tabletop or something in there.
character controller test. Let's just put it under there. And make sure. There we go. Alright, let's just do this a couple of times. Actually, wait, I could do this. And then this. And then we're good. We're good. He's contained now. Alright, let's open up these presents here. And this is like hilarious seeing like it's a large present, now it's a really small one. Now it's a really large one. Oh wait, it's a really small one.
Oh,
And he's back.
that was actually kind of funny because I could see like the inside of the present, but I could also see you because I could just see the ribbon, um,
Oh no.
and I could see each like layer that was added on because it changed the ribbon color. I just couldn't hear anything. I could see you, but I couldn't hear anything. That was crazy.
Interesting. Oh,
Whee! There. Now you can like I don't know trap your friends in presents.
yeah. Or somehow trap yourself in it. Not recommended.
I should just make a version of this that has a character parenter on the tabletop, so they just walk on it.
Oh
He just
no.
press the button.
It would probably be better as like a character parenter object that gets parented with the thing so that they can stand on something while they're parented to the present. Because if they get parented under it normally, they might still have gravity, especially if they turn it
No,
sideways.
the gift
Or up.
slot's disabled, so you're just kind of floating there in the present.
You're just in a void, in a pocket dimension.
Yeah, it's kind of like how grabbable receiver surfaces work, or like, sorry, not grabbable receiver surfaces, grab instancers, where you have a visual template and then there's like a hidden kind of pocket in there that's disabled, which you can actually see via like in here. So if I enable the gift template, you'll see that there's a gift container that is just disabled. That's a neat trick, by the way. If you're ever making something and you want it to be like if you're duplicating an object and you don't want it to be visible, you can set the parent of that object as um, disabled. There we go. And then whenever you duplicate the object under it, because it's enabled, as you see by the check marks here, when it's deparented from that thing, it appears. Also, if you are, say, driving a material, like we are on this, show that real quick. See how it's changing very rapidly? I don't know if that's showing up on Twitch, but we have, let me go to the materials here, 2 asset multiplexers with random integers. So that is cycling through all of these materials, and it is only driving the template. When it gets duplicated, that duplicate becomes a kind of static version. It's no longer being driven, right? And it also doesn't have materials on the object itself. So even if you have one of these pedestals and you're making multiple presents in the world, they'll all still share the same materials, but all still have different materials. That way it's still efficient, but you can still get some variety out of it. Whenever you duplicate the object, it kind of just freezes at whatever number this is on, because these components are no longer referencing the same material slot because of the duplicate slot. But yeah, it's pretty useful for making some fun stuff like this. I've made a whole bunch of things like that. At one point, I had a protoflux tip randomizer that would just kept grabbing at it and it would give you a randomly colored protoflux tip. Just kind of using the same kind of thing. Fun stuff.
No.
Oh my goodness, look at this orb.
Close these real quick. Yeah, I'll probably do a few more edits to the materials and oh yeah, and the gift wrapping sound, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah, we should probably wrap up the stream then.
Pun intended.
Yeah, it's about closing time for us here. We went a little bit over, but I think that makes up for us going a little bit late.
Yeah. We're about 50 minutes in, so if anybody has any last minute questions, please ask them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I still have FL Studio open. Oh, that'll be easy. Here's a good question. Phoenix Bird asks, what are you gonna ask Santa for this year? Half-Life 3.
I was gonna say the Steam frame.
I mean, we already know it exists regards of the Steam frame, but what about Half-Life 3?
What I would be interested to see is how the Steam box runs Resonite.
Oh, the Steam machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gabe Cube,
if you will.
Yeah, having like the Steam frame, using that in conjunction, I am curious as well on how Resonite will work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it has decent performance, and like the rendering, or actually the, was the rendering or the streaming is foveated rendering, or foveated streaming. Foveated streaming, okay. Basically, what that headset for the new upcoming headset has is like everywhere you look is more detailed than your peripheral, and what it does, it sends the data of where you're looking at to and from the computer and renders that area you're exactly looking at in more detail than where you're not, to get a better picture and more optimized like signal between the headset and the computer.
Does the Quest Pro do that? I feel like the Quest Pro does that.
I don't know.
Let me look that up real quick.
That'd be interesting to see. Because they have eye tracking, but I doubt they have, like, the foveated rendering. That's something that definitely would also be looked at once we get into a new rendering engine as well.
Yes, the Quest Pro does support eye tracked foveated rendering. I was figuring it does because I could kind of like notice it a little bit when using my Quest Pro. But
Or
yeah,
foveated streaming.
yeah, because I use mine wireless. So.
Okay. Yeah. Even Phoenix also said that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little harder for us to kind of do it because then we would need to have like built-in eye tracking software because it does just track your eyes to like do that stuff. So it's a little bit easier to do it in the headset than in the platform.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but you know.
I think pretty much good. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank y'all for stopping by. Hopefully, we were able to answer a lot of your questions, show you some fun stuff, and have a good time. Um, thank y'all for joining. And I think we're going to be
Yeah.
signing off here, wrapping it up for the holidays.
Oh, he had a question. Uh, when will controller override be fixed? Well, here's the thing, it's not really best place to ask when things will be done, because it's kind of hard to pinpoint, say, what specifically you're talking about in regards to controller overrides, and also there's a lot of different priorities and all that kind of go into development of Resonite. It's
If you're
best.
having a specific issue, make sure you look for that issue on GitHub. If it does not exist, then make one there, and that greatly increases the chances of that thing getting fixed. If one already exists, trust me, we see it. But we do have a lot of things going on, and some things take priorities over than others. But you guys will always know whenever something gets fixed because it gets brought up in the changelog. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
make sure it's a GitHub issue. It will get looked at. I promise you. I get email notifications for every single one that is made and labeled content, so I see all of them.
Yeah. Alrighty. Just
So
make
thank you for
sure I
stopping
got
by.
that. Don't accidentally close. There we go.
Make sure to take it easy. Stay warm, especially in the cool weather out there.
Mm-hmm. And
And
stay
make sure you
cool in the
don't.
southern hemisphere, knowing that is the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Make sure not to get too cold or wet because you don't want to get sick. It's pretty easy to get sick over the winter time. And stay safe. Watch those
Yep.
icy roads.
Tune in next Wednesday, same time, for our team office hours. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.